Hi, my name is Lucia LaRoque. The essay that I have chosen to present is my argumentative essay, The Beauty of the Haphazard, Why Impressionism Was the Best Art Movement. I chose it because I enjoyed researching and writing it, which is quite unusual for me, as the subject is very dear to me. I have strong opinions on art movements, especially when contrasted with Impressionism, so I appreciated the chance to present my ideas. Although it was not a perfect argumentative essay, it's still my favorite because I loved what I was writing about, and I feel like that passion was obvious. The Beauty of the Haphazard, Why Impressionism Was the Best Art Movement. Responsible for innovative new ways of handling color, candidness, and symbolism in art, Impressionism was the best art movement. The Impressionists candidly preserved the beautiful moments of everyday life through their art. They brought more color and spontaneity to the art world than had ever been seen before. In addition, they used distinctive painting techniques unlike any of the preceding movements. Free of symbolism, history, and fantasy, their works could be understood and appreciated by anyone. Through these many novel techniques, the Impressionists were responsible for ushering in a new era of modern art. The way the Impressionists painted and used color were some of the most distinguishing attributes of the movement. They painted in bright, shining, opaque hues, not mixing their paints and using no black or dark gray pigments for shading. While this technique of using no black sometimes led to outlandishly colored shadows, it was pivotal in its divergence from the norm. In order to create the movement's characteristic soft, blurry, imprecise images, they used short, thick strokes of paint, often painting on top of wet paint to avoid creating hard edges. This technique was also important because, quote, with the suppression of outline, the object tended to lose prominence, and Impressionist paintings became paintings of light and atmosphere, a play of direct and reflected color, unquote. In addition, the Impressionists were the first artists to prime their canvases with white paint instead of the typical brown, which lent their works lightness and an unsurpassed airiness. Impressionist coloring was often influenced by the emphasis on painting en plein air, or outdoors, in strong sunlight. Painting en plein air, which forced the artist to move quickly due to the impermanence of the light, lent itself well to another aspect of Impressionism, painting candidly. Impressionists painted their subjects exactly as they were in the particular moment, quote, recording an immediate uninterpreted experience, end quote. They painted the people, places, and things of their time, not those of history or imagination. In attempting to portray simply a moment in time, the Impressionist painters tried to, quote, avoid the appearance of formal composition and sought to convey the effect of the accidental and chance disposition as if a camera had photographed a scene at haphazard, unquote. As such, they rejected formal artistic training, conventional composition, and prearranged scenes. However, many of the artists, such as Degas and Manet, were in fact highly trained. Often the desultory appearance they so determinedly sought was actually calculated meticulously. Likewise, unwilling as they were to work with the limitations of nature, not all of the Impressionists took up painting en plein air. In painting their subjects at a particular point in time, they avoided the emotion, sentimentality, and meaning that most pre- and post-Impressionist works held. They chose their subjects for their beauty, not effect. Unlike the realists, the Impressionists did not seek to address current societal or political issues in their art. They were not attempting to be activists. Instead, they focused on, quote, the fleeting and casual at the expense of the enduring and monumental, end quote. In any given Impressionist painting, little of significance lurks below the surface. There was no alluding, sentimentality, or symbolism in their art, effectively removing the movement from pomposity and mawkishness. Their art existed simply for its beauty, and anyone could understand it. This emotional austerity, however, was not without its faults. The lack of emotionality in Impressionist works could also make them seem superficial and dispassionate, or static and empty. Although it had its various shortcomings, Impressionism was the best art movement because it redefined art as the world knew it. Without the groundbreaking influence of the movement, art may well have stagnated, never moving past this theatricality of romanticism or the homeliness of realism. However, with the Impressionists' new takes on color, technique, subject matter, and meaning in art, the door to greater artistic freedom was finally opened. Thank you.